excited to hear Robert Sweetman talk about some tips and tricks.
So who is this guy with Sleep Genius up on the screen? Like, who the hell does he think he is? Really? Sleep Genius? Oh, that's the Navy SEAL guy. Of course he would call himself that, right? Next thing he's going to do is write a book, right? I've worked with a lot of firefighters across the United States, Canada, and UK actually. But we're breaking the mold on that, right? And nothing against the clinicians. They do a great job. However, they have limitations based on their license. They have insurance limitations. They have protocols. They have all this stuff. Like, I'll tell you my story, and the reason why I don't give a crap about any of that, right? Because guys are still committing suicide. It's still happening. Despite all of our tools in the medical system, it's still happening. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, I mean, that's my mission now. Like, that's my objective. Now I'm out of the SEAL teams. I've been out since 2018, and that's my new mission. In the military, we have two things that cause us to be in a hypervigilant state in perpetuity, right? One is attention to detail, and the other one is situational awareness. And my guess is that you guys live that same life, right? So how do you turn that off when it's time to go to sleep? Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to go to sleep as quickly. You're not going to be able to, you could have increased noradrenaline levels. You could have more night terrors. You could have more night awakenings. You could have lighter sleep. You could have less deep sleep. There's a ton of different issues that come with going into sleep in a sympathetic nervous system state, right? What I observed was this vicious cycle of using sedatives to go to sleep, not getting good sleep, and then using stimulants to wake up, right? And I'm guessing that all of you know what I'm talking about, right? Because what happens when you're tired and you have that call, right? You got to get up and you got to go on the call. What we need is adequate sleep. Now, that's a different number for all of us, right? My sweet spot is about 7 hours and 15 minutes. For Lorianna, it might be a little bit more or a little bit less, but it's important to find our own sweet spot for total sleep time. We've got millions of veterans in the VA system. We've got hundreds of thousands of firefighters, all struggling with insomnia, maybe comorbid PTSD. This is a mathematical problem. There's no way that we have enough therapists to help out all the people that are in need. The most effective prescription is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. We have completely redesigned the CBTI model. It's the most effective treatment for sleep issues. So my thought is, what the heck is an engineer doing if he doesn't have enough sleep? How long is it until a mishap happens? The challenge is that after a career in fire service, our amygdala has been hitting the gym all the time, and a lot of times the prefrontal, it's like legs day. We've been skipping, right? And so it's harder to come back to that, isn't it, right? It's harder when you come home and you just came off a very activating shift and you got to deal with your wife and you're coming in the door and you got a bunch of questions, like you just want to react, right? Like you're going through the door, like you're saving somebody's life. This just like, I got to get it done. But that's not how we handle our spouses. And that's not how we handle ourselves. And we have to handle ourselves as we transition into sleep, right? We have to be able to downregulate. We have to be able to turn off that activation. We can use some of these techniques to relax and engage the prefrontal. So that's what we're doing. We're shifting from sympathetic to parasympathetic, relaxing the system, and our prefrontal engages. And that's what we want to do in the minutes and moments before we enter into sleep. All right. Thanks, guys.